Yeah, that has not been my experience with Leaflit fans. My experience with Leaflit fans is they tell me to kill myself. They tell me they're gonna find me. They're gonna put me in jail. They call me a Nazi because I call Leaflit a Nazi because she is. They call me the R word, the slur. You know, just like this, that, and the other. Welcome back to the J-Star broadcast. I am your local wizard, J-Star. And, holy shit, we're watching Leaflit. She's about to tell me how I can find a wife. Let's hear it.
Actually, here's
let's
a
go.
good topic. I think that would be very relevant to the chatters. So, like, how do you think a person nowadays that wanted to find a good girlfriend or wife, how would they do it? Like, if you had to advise people, like, if people ask me, Malcolm, you know, yeah. I'm sold.
Well, you can't, Leaflit. You can't, because all women are whores. All women are vicious, whore scumbags. Okay, that's what they are.
I'm sold on the
Don't you know?
Having children. How do I do it? How would you go about it?
So I think it's important first to understand and accept that.
First, you have to understand and accept that you have to take the black pill. Okay, because women only want Chad, and in our society, you'll never have children. There's no point to living, man. The only point to living is to watch Asmongold streams every day. Okay, that's it.
The challenges that your generation and our generation faces are higher than the challenges of the previous generations.
So you fucked you over, it's true.
It is not fair, but the reward are also disproportionately in your favor. By that what I mean is the number of competent people that are having children are incredibly low. IQ is heavily correlated with genetics. Competence, ambition is heavily correlated with genetics. Your children will be competing in a world.
Okay, what's the gene? What's the intelligence gene? I'd like to know.
Highly bereft of competent people, given current demographic fertility rates. You will be able to sweep up the future of humanity with fairly low
competition.
Output.
Oh, low output.
Let's put it that way, right? You know, so basically, just your genetic and civilizational rewards are higher, but your
So what you're saying is humanity is so fucking cooked that that if somebody with a mindset like us gets a wife, then like you're good basically.
Yeah. So how do you do this? You gotta get up. You got to one is compromise.
Okay. Get up.
So look at like Nick Fuentes, right?
All right.
Nick Fuentes, goes on
okay, now we're on to Nick Fuentes.
Will meet his standards, and like one of his standards is like somebody who's not on the internet. So, well, then you're not gonna find somebody like that, or at least not somebody who would marry you. You've got entire fan communities based to you. So the first is be willing to compromise, right? Like the average American woman these days is obese. The key is somebody who wants to improve, right?
Someone with a work ethic, I suppose, right? Would be that.
Yeah. The point here is be willing to want to improve yourself.
Fix her upper. Groom your girlfriend.
And a lot of women are there. The second is that most women are progressive. There are 2 progressive women for every 1 progressive man. There are 2 conservative men for every 1 conservative woman. Finding a woman who's going to be out of the box conservative is going to be very difficult. So you want to be shooting your shot, but in ways that are not overly.
I don't know if that's accurate. Okay, the gender disparity is quite high. Right, so like there are a lot more conservative men in this generation than there are conservative women, and vice versa. You know, there's a lot more like libtarded, woke-tard women relative to the men. All right, so that's it.
Aggressive, not overly boxy, you know, leaving a woman your phone number, for example, right? Like, she can follow up if she wants, not if she doesn't want, just be like, if you want, right? And women get angry when they think a guy's hitting on them who isn't as attractive as they think they deserve. And I'm sorry that can cause problems, but the reality is that you have to tank those problems, right?
Wait, what? Hold on, what?
Follow up if she wants, not if she doesn't want, just be like, if you want, right? Shooting your shot, but in ways that are not overly aggressive, not overly boxy, you know, leaving a woman your phone number, for example, right? Like, she can follow up if she wants, not if she doesn't want, just be like, if you want, right? And women get angry when they think a guy's hitting on them who isn't as attractive as they think they deserve. And I'm sorry that can cause problems, but the reality is that you have to tank those problems, right? Sometimes, I'm pretty hot, if I'm gonna be honest. I didn't feel those problems that much.
That is pretty funny. That is a funny statement. The reason I'm not laughing is just because I'm kind of sick of the joke, right? And also because I think that this person knows that he's kind of ugly, okay? But number one, he already has a partner. And number two, he knows that he's posturing for his audience, okay? Like, he's presenting this bravado, this confidence. And it's obviously shallow. It's hollow. It's not earned. Like, you are not an attractive person, man. You just aren't. It's crazy to
You
me.
do like a little hair flip. The little anime villainous hair flip.
Anyway, you know, second, don't wait till you're good enough to get out there, right? Don't be like, I will first lose the weight, then I'll start dating. You should be doing both, losing the weight and starting dating. You know, getting the perfect body and starting dating. And the next is recognize that the environments that you're going to be dating on are not the environments of the previous generation. 60% of couples form online today, right? Apps like, you know, Tinder, other swipe-based dating apps may not be the best way to find a partner. You know, in Discords can be a good way to find a partner if you're not being weird and creepy about it. Online, especially if you're in communities that aren't overtly politically coded, right? So by this what I mean is, Leaflit's forums, for example, are going to be overwhelmingly male. Right?
Yeah, it's like 4% female. Sorry, it's not very much, guys.
My forums are significantly more female, actually. Like, of our super fans, about 50%, like, of our paid subscribers, around 50% are female.
That's crazy.
We are like a
I don't know if I believe that.
We're like the housewife show. But not all of them, you know. So like our Discord may not be the worst, but finding online communities that where you can find these progressive women is a good place to go. And people are like, oh, progressive women are evil and will attack you and everything like that. It's like most progressive women aren't really progressive, not meaningfully. I mean, my wife was extremely progressive when I met her, right? Like she didn't want to change her last name, she wanted to have a hysterectomy, even though she wasn't having sex, just because it's what you do.
Even Powder said she was pretty progressive until stuff happened, you know.
Who was?
Powder.
Oh yeah, and it's not just her. Like a lot of conservative female icons are
Maria too.
What's her name? The domestic terrorist.
Wait, the domestic terrorist?
Yeah, you wrote a book called The Domestic Terrorist. It's a great book about being a wife. God, what's her name again? I'm trying to remember. Peachy Keenan, very progressive. Speaking of, I think we know one person who's going to become more conservative over time is she won't have married a tradcast, right? You know, that's the beginning. Sort of having kids. You're gonna get a conservative extremist.
Thank you.
But basically, you're
when was she? They keep saying this. When was Shoe Head a libtard? Right? When? Because the way I remember, she's always been kind of trad and based and like against the woke tards. Like, one thing that I do agree with her on is like I don't really think she's changed that much. You know, she was saying that in her last video, like how she's always been like, I've always been an independent thinker or whatever. Like, yeah, man, for sure. But, like, I get what she means. She's always been chud maxing, okay? She's a chud maxer. That's how she made her money.
Just looking for somebody who, like Shoe Head, is at least open to.
So she's making her money now.
And then these women become conservative after they have kids.
How do you like if you had to say like what would the I guess what are the signs that like if a person is like too much, like as in like this is a waste of time?
I mean, I think you'll see it immediately. Like, do they want to have philosophical? I mean, the conversations that I have with people on dates are always, what do you want for the future? Like, what's your goal with your life? Like, what's your thing? What do you think has value? What are you going to do with your life? And then we talk through the best ways to achieve that, right? That's a conversation that should engage anyone. Can quickly tell you if you're compatible, and can quickly tell you, right? Like, if they're just like, oh, it's to promote progressive values, right? Yeah. Like, clearly not. But if they're like, oh, it's for the best interest of, I don't know, society, civilization, whatever. It's like, well, how? Like, let's look at X group. X group tried that here, like it didn't fully work. But also be open to it. And if you're a Leaflit fan, I think you're going to be able to talk to them while being open to it, right?
Is it about like the goal? Like is that what you could distill it to? Is that they have some kind of goal that isn't just?
Yeah, that has not been my experience with Leaflit fans. My experience with Leaflit fans is they tell me to kill myself. They tell me they're gonna find me. They're gonna put me in jail. They call me a Nazi because I call Leaflit a Nazi because she is. They call me the R word, the slur, you know, just like this, that, and the other.
Anybody who has a goal and truly believes the goal, you can reorient them around how to best achieve the goal, right? Like, that's the thing about, like, bringing people into sanity again. It's just getting them to define what they want for the world. Even most progressives, I think I could talk them out of being progressive. Just sit them down, be like, okay, what do you want for society? Okay, here's your plan here. Somebody said, where's my Discord link? You can find it under my videos.
I can, you want me to link it, or?
That's fine if you have access to it. Yeah, this is how you can find a wife. It's again, not easy. You're playing on hard. Most men wipe out of the genetic pool in this generation.
I'm looking it right now.
It's 100% worth making the try. Oh, the second thing I know here is what women like. Your fans watched you watch a video by a friend of mine, really love him. What's his name again?
Homath?
The guy who draws everything.
Homath, yeah.
Homath. And Homath was like, oh, women all want the buff Chad guys and everything like that. And then he talks about the study, and the study is accurate. Like, if you look at the studies and you look for short-term sex, women prefer buff guys. And he mentions briefly, but for longer-term partners,
wow.
And this is true. The women, when it comes to long-term partners, don't necessarily want the buff guy, right? And I think that people overcorrect for this, right? Yes, being buff can help, but there are things that women care a lot more about than your body, and about as much as your
woke.
What's the word here?
Woke.
Conversation about atheism on gay.
Dude, look, let me tell you, people don't want to hear this. People don't want to hear this shit. Okay, or the audience that you're trying to appeal to here, they don't want to hear this. Okay, incels don't want to hear this. They want to hear that the game is rigged, that there's nothing that they can do, and that Chad is, you know, Chad gets the girl that you want, and that's it, okay? That's what they want to fucking hear, man. They don't want to hear this shit, like, oh no, women actually do want you after they fuck with Chad and they get used up. Okay, like these people don't want to fucking hear that, dog. They just don't, they're incels, okay? They want to hear that life is, terrible for them and they should be angry and blah 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 and then blame it on brown people or trans people or something. Okay, that's what you do. That's what you do. You don't do this. This isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna do anything. I guess this kind of content, it does make a select few people feel good, you know, like, oh, I'm intellectualizing my conservative values. Well, you know, look, there's only so much you can do with that. You can only spread the information so thin to make it fit into your worldview. Okay, let's keep going though. This is funny.
Chat. So there's like Twitch chat.
I like this so far.
So Twitch chat is like just normal chat. Kick is PvP, and then Rumble is a slur chat.
The slur chat?
The slur chat. That's why it's not on screen.
Oh, that is spicy. Yeah, we gotta talk about the JOOs. Anyway, where was I going? Sorry. Women in respect. Yeah. So what women want, more than anything, right, is as a woman, sort of biologically, psychologically, a lot of women really do want to sort of set up shop in someone else's life and be their supporter in some way. And that means that you need to have a vision worthy of support. You need to have something you're working on, something you care about, that somebody else would get excited about being a part of, right? This idea of having a woman who just serves you, right? Like, I'm gonna have a woman and she's just gonna do whatever I tell her to, right? Like, go get in the kitchen and make me a sandwich or something like that.
Yeah, like it's interesting. I think we talked about this slightly before, but like the idea that the was it the hardcore like manosphere brings about it, like I don't think women are actually attracted to that.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
No.
But like, as I said, like if you look at what women actually like get horny over, I've never seen a woman into like an Arnold like guy or even a bodybuilder, right? But when I see women, it's always like Johnny Depp or like, you know, the freaking who's the kid from the band One Direction.
I don't know that.
Justin Bieber, or like where it's like the one slur when all the women on Tumblr went after the one slur, or like the hat guy, right? Like they
it's because they got aura. That's why you just gotta have aura.
I think they need to be, but the point I'm making is it's not even this. It's that when a woman, women like making sandwiches for guys when they're excited about what they're doing. More than making sandwiches, they like going out and helping them in that quest, right?
Yeah, it's a support role.
Women are human beings who don't want to be somebody's slave. They want to be part of your quest. And the number one thing that you're selling a woman early in a relationship is the quest that she's getting to join.
I like totally agree with this. This is kind of what I was talking about with Chad. Remember that one day I went on a rant about like One Piece captains, and I was like, that's really hot, like a One Piece captain. That's why. It's because I want to be like, you know, a crew member of that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
this kind of misogyny might not be as overt as the manosphere misogyny that they were just you know, demeaning. It's only like one step removed, right? This is only like slightly like yeah, women are the support. They're in the background, right? They're just along for the ride. Like, no, man, women are people with brains and minds just like yours. And they are equally as capable in brain endeavors.
But no, it is cool. Like, people are like, oh, the captains, like, that's the, but you don't need to be you don't need to be running, so you can be doing your own thing in your own little community online, right? Like, that's what women want to be a part of. They're looking for something cool to join, really.
Yeah.
And building that is so much more important than being hot. Also, remember that, like, being hot is just not that, like, sex is not that big a part of married life.
Yeah, man, so this is just complete and total projection, I think. All right, let's hear that again. Hold on, let me replay it.
join. Really.
Yeah.
That's what women want to be a part of. They're looking for something cool to
I mean, it's not even really projection, right? He's just saying what he thinks about women. He's saying women, they just want to join something. They don't want to build anything. Dude, humans want to be part of groups, right? Women do this, men do this. That's it.
join. Really.
Yeah.
And building that is so much more important than being hot. Also, remember that, like...
What is there to build? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, you're a content creator. Yeah, you've built something. You've built a community. A fucking gross little cretin community. Okay, but a community nonetheless. And, expecting other men to all follow suit, that's ridiculous. And so if you're not talking about that, if you're talking about, like, finding your group and joining it, well, that's not really building anything now, is it?
Being hot is just not that important. Like, sex is not that big a part of married life if you're successful and you have a bunch of kids. I mean, I was going over just, like, even logistically how hard it is to have sex regularly if you're married and you have a bunch of kids. But also, like, how hot your wife is just, like, so freaking irrelevant, and so many guys key to hotness first, when hotness should be, like, number 10.
What should be like the top 3?
Sanity. Just, is she
Oh
willing
shit!
to...
It's
That's
2026 now.
reality, right? Like, sanity, mental health, right? Like, yeah, that's really it, right? Like, sanity is the core thing. You find a sane woman, I don't care about anything else. You stop, you settle down. You found the diamond in the rough, right? A woman who has the potential to be nudged towards sanity is really all you're looking for.
You have to groom her for the rest.
Yeah, you gotta groom her, right? You gotta
groom your girlfriend and your wife and your husband.
You groom her to be crazy. Like, these women are surrounded by people who tell them to hate men. They tell them all these things. They don't want to be.
It's incredibly low standards until you realize that this person considers, like, all women crazy. Right? Yeah, man, women are crazy. They're manic. Yeah, why do people think I'm a misogynist? Oh, I don't know. It's because they're woke police.
The hating men thing only works if you don't intend to ever have a family. Because once you do, it's like do you want your husband to be hated? Do you want your son to be hated? It turns into that, right?
As he says, you found a sane woman, you found a guy, maybe. I mean, my wife doesn't produce, as we said, she needs to take the hormones whenever she has kids. So, you know, maybe she has the psychological profile of a man. Groom her like she does the horses. But I've seen other guys make it work.
Well, that was weird.